We're starting off today's video with a fun fact. Did you know that if you type in Korean into Yelp, that you'll find over 240 restaurants come up in the search results? There's not enough time in the world to visit them all because there's always something new here, and by this point, it is no secret. I'm your go-to Atlanta realtor, Tim Trevathan with Tim Trevathan Homes, and today we're going to be looking at what it's like to live and thrive in Atlanta's Koreatown. First, some history. Koreans have been arriving in Atlanta since the 1960s, where there were ample job opportunities, cheap housing, and access to higher education like Georgia Tech and Emory University, settling along the Buford Highway corridor in Doraville, where many of them set up shops that exist to this day. As time passed into the 80s, more and more came by the droves, establishing themselves all across the metro Atlanta area, but especially in Gwinnett County. Markets were opening, churches sprang up, restaurants were spreading, business was booming. According to the 2019 US Census, 51,000 people who identify as Korean live in the Atlanta area, and that number has only been going up since then. Unlike other cities like New York or Los Angeles, there's no real designated place that we can call Koreatown here, since Atlanta has such a dynamic culture of people mixing in shared cultural spaces. Still, if you're interested in migrating to the neighborhoods with the most Korean presence, you can probably find the highest concentration of people in Duluth and Suwanee, where you can look up and see billboards, bakeries, and banks with signs written in English and Korean. You can bet that the Korean community has a pretty significant impact on the cultural landscape of Atlanta, because no matter where you go, you can find dentists, mechanics, stylists, teachers, and more of Korean descent. It might even shock you if you're coming from Korea for the first time to discover how many places you can go without using any English at all. It'll be like you never left, but with the Chick-fil-a down the block. So let's say you're convinced, you're loving what you're hearing, and you're ready to take the plunge. Reach out to me directly via phone, email, direct message, or whatever style of communication you find most comfortable, and we can talk about getting you set up in your next dream home in Atlanta's K-Town. Once you're here though, you'll want to get plugged in and connected as soon as possible to really experience the richness that the Korean community can offer. There are plenty of opportunities available throughout the area for just that. In fact, you can dig deep and ask yourself what you're most passionate about. Is it tennis? Join a Korean tennis league like the Atlanta Korean Tennis Association. Or how about community service and volunteering? There are actually several nonprofits that all serve the Korean community here, such as the Korean American Coalition and the Korean American Association of Greater Atlanta. If you're a student, there are Korean undergraduate student associations at many of our fine universities. The spiritual life of Koreans in Atlanta can't be understated either. There are over 100 churches and 3 Buddhist temples here where you can join with fellow believers. And if you're here, then you have to be interested in Korean culture, right? The Korean Cultural Center organizes an annual Korean festival, the largest in the Southeast US, to highlight all of the fun and amazing things about Korean traditions in a 2-day one-stop shop. My family and I actually went to the 2023 Atlanta Korean Festival at the Norcross Korean Community Center in September, and we had a blast. Whether you're born in Korea or just learning about Korea for the first time, everyone is welcome to participate and check it out. Just a quick insider tip, you may want to arrive early in order to secure a good parking spot, because traffic and parking can get brutal once the festival is well underway. Once you do get past the array of Korean signs and flags dotting the perimeter, you'll be greeted by a sprawling outdoor market chock full of local vendors, businesses, and performances that are sure to catch your eye. On the outdoor stage, they'll have traditional dances, children's choirs, live K-pop sets, and even some high-flying taekwondo routines. Stick around and you might be able to catch a shiram or Korean wrestling competition in the center ring. And did I mention the restaurants yet? While you're navigating the crowds and enjoying the shows, you won't want to miss the local Korean food. Don't be afraid to try something new because you never know if gimbap, tteokbokki, or even sundae might be your next chae, aka favorite. While you're spending your time marveling at some of the demonstrations, displays, and mochi donuts, pay special attention to the goods on sale. A lot of them will be local merchandise or imports you won't be able to find anywhere else in Atlanta. And if that's not enough for you and you're the type to want to participate in the fun, there's so many activities to check out. You can experience it all for yourself, whether it's the traditional drums, calligraphy, children's games, board games, face painting, and more. If Georgia's September heat is getting to be too much, cool down at the indoor hall where there's even more shows to see. In the mornings, you can sit down and enjoy a traditional fashion show, followed by a traditional music concert. There's even K-pop fan signings and more amazing indoor taekwondo demonstrations. If you've never seen it, you have to check out the traditional drum performance. Upstairs, there's a magnificent display of Korean history and art you can slowly peruse at your leisure. All in all, it's a celebration of Korean heritage that truly exemplifies the spirit of unity that allowed those early immigrants from Korea to survive and eventually build out the places that we can enjoy today. It wouldn't have been possible without all of the love and labor of the volunteers, vendors, and sponsors coming together under a single vision of spreading the joy of Korean culture to the wider Atlanta community. You definitely won't regret bringing your friends and family to the Atlanta Korean Festival the coming year. Moving someplace new can be daunting, even terrifying, but finding a community rich with a culture you're familiar with can make that transition not only easier, but infinitely more rewarding. If you want to embed yourself within a Korean community that is full of life, character, and interconnectedness, look no further than Atlanta, because I can guarantee that nowhere else in the country will you find the charms of Southern hospitality and the comfort of South Korea all in one place. The soul of the South is waiting for you and your family. Thanks again for dropping by. If you want to know more about my experience living and working here, if you want to chat, just talk to me. You can reach me by phone, email, text. I'll be happy to give you the full scoop about what you can expect when moving to Atlanta's Koreatown. So until next time, this is your favorite Atlanta realtor, Tim Trevathan, signing off.